Welcome back to Paper Route. Brandon Marshall, Ashley Nicole Moss, Corey in the cut, Woo out west, BC in the booth. I want to try something a little different with this introduction. It's Tuesday. How'd you like?
Hey, you hung that for a while. That was impressive. You hung that
like
for a while.
I could have went longer.
Could you? Damn, that was
That's iffy on
That's up there with sneaky sniper. It wasn't your best work.
Yo, it's Tuesday.
It would have been better if you was like Taco Tuesday. Like
no,
Ron
that's like
used to
kind
do.
of it's like
look
weed.
out if it is.
Yeah, the Taco Tuesday.
Well, he actually tried to get that trademark and couldn't get it, and then he ended up doing a commercial with Taco Bell. What was it during All Star?
Yeah, I
do
saw
remember
that. Was
that.
he the first person to kind of coin Taco Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday was a thing
And
forever.
that-
That's why they didn't.
That's why, yeah,
That's why he didn't
exactly.
give. That's why he couldn't get the trademark because Taco Tuesday definitely was a thing when I was in high school,
Exactly,
like middle school. Like it was always Taco Tuesday.
Yeah,
LeBron
he's
thought he
tripping.
discovered something.
Yeah, like what?
LeBron, yeah,
you
you
trying to
didn't
take over
discover
Taco Tuesday?
exactly, yeah.
Well, it is Taco Tuesday. Are you
is
guys
indeed.
having tacos?
I don't know.
I
I can't.
haven't.
Do you normally have? I don't normally like adhere to that. Like
I
some
remember-
days when I do, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Taco Tuesday and I'm having tacos. But for the most part, I don't think I am like a diehard Taco Tuesday.
You know what?
I love tacos though.
Yeah.
I haven't cooked in 14 years.
What? 14, really? 14
What do you
years?
eat? Air?
I have a chef,
Oh.
or had a chef. I
That's
had a
wild.
chef. Now
What a
I just
flex. That's
like
a
I don't
wild
know if I
statement.
eat at all, but I think I'm gonna make some tacos tonight.
That'd be
Tacos
nice.
are very easy. Like anyone can
They
make
are.
tacos. So
So I can do it.
You should be. If you can't make not being able to make tacos is like not being able to make mac and cheese.
I definitely
It might
can't
be a
make
good
mac
dish
and
to
cheese.
No,
start
not
on.
like I'm talking like Kraft mac and cheese, like from a box.
Come on, that ain't mac and cheese.
I know, but like that's the equal. They're equal in like simplicity. So
Brandon Marshall, Ashley Nicole Moss, Corey in the booth, BC in the back, and we got Woo Out West, Faction Talk Channel 103, Sirius XM, and it's Taco Tuesday, and I'm gonna be in that kitchen tonight. I'm gonna bring y'all some leftovers. How about that?
remember, Lil B, the bass guy, used to do that,
Yeah, he
one
invented
time.
the
used
whip,
to do
right?
cook,
Yeah, like one time too.
and then he would
whip it
put
up
curses
tonight.
on people. That was a fun time on Twitter. That's
guys-
when Twitter was fun.
Yeah, man.
Guys, Corey, you've been working your butt off,
Yes, sir.
putting together these shows. This feels like the longest dead season in sports we've ever had.
That's what they call the dog days.
For real.
These are the dog days?
It's the dog days of summer.
Yep.
The dog days of sports. It's like every day is kind of the same. It's just a long, hot day with nothing happening. It's just this is why. Can we have a real conversation real quick?
Please.
People
'cause
think I'm crazy when I say this. I do not like the summer. I am not a summer girl. I am a winter
Fall.
girl all day. Like I know I was born in the dead of winter, January.
January when?
13.
Okay.
So like I like cool weather. I'm not talking like minus 20 degrees, that's insane. But like the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, that's my sweet spot. Like the 70s is doable. But like the weather that we're having, I know it's a heat wave and it's abnormal, but 80, 90 degree weather is not enjoyable. Like
Right.
let's be honest. Like when you're cold, there's a lot of things you can do to warm yourself up. There's indoor activities. You can do skiing, snowboarding, if that's your thing. You put on layers, but it's enjoyable because you're warm where you want to be warm, and then the outside's cool, so it's a nice balance. When you're hot like this, there's nothing you can do but stay inside. I can't go to the pool, it's too hot. I can't go to the beach, it's too hot.
Yeah.
I can't even go out to lunch and sit outside because I'm drenched in sweat.
Isn't
like
that
people
crazy?
who like
you can't
the
even
summer.
go outside
No.
and get in the pool.
You can't
between
work
us.
out outdoors if you want to run on the field and do some workouts. Like
Well, I
people
actually
who
love
like
it.
the summer are not mentally all there. I'm convinced.
They-
What I
brains are
love,
probably
what I love
fried.
about working out in the heat is that you sweat.
But this
faster
is like you
and
can
much more.
die. Like this is insane.
Yeah.
Well, when you said dog days, I was like, this isn't a dog days because dog days for me is actually when football season starts.
Yeah,
Can't. That's what we think of when
Of
we
dog
hear
days, right.
dog days. And no, Ashley, like think about that. We're out there in this weather with helmets
Yeah.
and
Shoulder pads,
shoulder
everything.
pads
That's
on
why the Cowboys go to Oxnard.
for 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. it helps. It helps.
It helps.
But Miami's still here.
Yeah, all right. Imagine
Yeah, but don't they do it in
Jacksonville's
the
still
dome,
here.
though,
No,
don't they?
no, they're outside.
You
Nah,
outside.
that would be insane to have them outside during a heat wave like this, though.
It's camp.
Well, I think what they're saying, we're having some record summer.
No, it's a
Every
record
day is a
hot.
record.
Every day is
Across
a
the
new
globe,
record
really.
for the hottest day on earth.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
northern
Every
hemisphere.
day we break our own record. I have an Alexa, in my room. It's like part alarm clock, and like you can tell it to like order you stuff from Amazon. And every day I wake up, it says, "Good morning, Ashley," and it goes, today. No, you program it like that, and then
a Black Mirror episode.
I also like program it with certain affirmations so I can hear the same affirmation every morning. But then it'll also say, "Miami is currently under a heat advisory until Thursday," and then the next day, "Miami's currently under a heat advisory until Friday," and then it keeps moving every single day. It's a new day. It's insane. It's literally insane.
It's Florida for you.
I know.
Gotta love it. I was like, you ready for the Florida boys to
I
chime
don't know if
in?
you gotta love it. I don't know if you gotta love it.
The Florida boys can have
I'll say,
that.
Woo Out West from down here too. I mean,
Born and
I've been
raised.
doing it my whole life, so I mean, I'll go out and play basketball. At midday. 1 p.m., 2 p.m.
You're nuts,
I'm
right?
also-
I mean, if I
midday,
was-
it's like 93 degrees outside.
If I was
Good tan.
14,
You get a good tan.
Nah, I'm
I
sorry.
would do it if I was 14 again.
14.
I don't know if I could do it now.
Think about
man.
it Think about it in this way. Like, it's hotter here than it is in places like Jamaica and Turks and Caicos.
Correct.
And like places that you would expect it to be really hot this time of year. We are hotter than them. That's insane. And we're not on an island.
Love it. Love it. All you guys out there that may be a pound or two overweight, not fat shaming, this is the time to go outside. You can just go on a walk.
And you losing weight.
You go on a walk
Yeah.
and you down 5 pounds. Do you know every day after practice, I don't know for you, Corey, but during camp, I would lose 5 to 7 pounds every single practice.
Really? Every practice?
Every
I
practice.
was that guy too.
But what you have to do is, right, so you have to do the piss test. So the piss test is you go in and you pee in the morning, right? And so there's representatives of the team that's there, more medical interns, and they're collecting this data,
To make sure
which
you're
is
not, like,
your
on
piss.
something?
No,
No,
they just want to
dehydration
see.
levels.
It's a dehydration test.
Oh,
So they just want to see
okay.
your levels. Basically, the way they look at it is like, what color is your piss?
Yeah, because
Okay,
like
your
clear,
urine.
dark,
Let me say
yellow.
urine. Let me stop saying piss. It's
Yeah,
just like
got
too much going on. So it's your urine, right? So you come in, okay, great. You look hydrated. You did a phenomenal job after practice, after meetings. You hydrated. Great job. Rehydrated. Great job. So then you go out there and you have meetings, you have practice, you have all these other things. Right after practice, mandatory. You have to go in there, you have to go pee in the cup again. Okay?
This is 3 times. that
No,
you
this
pee.
is twice in a day.
Okay, got it.
Twice in
so
a day.
first before practice, then after.
Then after. First thing in the morning, not before practice. First thing in the
First
morning.
thing in the morning. Got it. Okay.
Then after practice. So you go in there and it's like, okay, yeah, you're clearly dehydrated, but you also have to get on a scale, right? So they weigh you in before practice, after practice they weigh you out, right? So it's like, all right, B, you're down 7 pounds or 5 pounds, whatever it is, and you're dehydrated. So now your job, and this is everybody in the building pretty much that took the field, you got to rehydrate, you got to replenish. So that 5 to 7, you're putting that back in. So that could be through IV, that's through food, that's through your own liquids, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a real thing.
Damn, you were losing weight like Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was a
Yeah.
universal thing.
Lewis Hamilton says
Especially
he
during
loses
camp.
at least 10 pounds every race.
Yeah, it's,
And being in that car.
How much do you lose during a game then?
well, games it could be similar.
I
Not
feel like
really.
your
No,
body's
it's
more
about,
regulated around that time, right?
Yeah, and then also you're not. Practicing game tempo is just totally different.
Okay.
Man, I don't even know how to describe it. Like game
That's a
time,
lot,
like
right?
you're
7
going on. You every once in a while you may go on a 9-play drive, 10-play drive, but for the most part, it's 3. Especially like the Dallas Cowboys, you might go 3 and out,
right?
5 times
A lot of
in a row.
times.
You feel me?
I mean, like over and over again.
No, the Dallas Cowboys actually they're really efficient and did a phenomenal job moving the ball last year. They just got to protect the ball. Dak Prescott, he came out yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? And we didn't
I think
talk
it was
about
yesterday.
that. Did we talk about that?
It happened after the
didn't.
show.
Oh, it happened after the show. What did he say?
He said he's not going to have 10 interceptions this year.
Do you like
10?
Dak, your
He's
quarterback?
saying-
Him saying
I
that
believe in
publicly?
manifestation. I believe if you say it enough, like you put it out there into the universe, and your mind is a very powerful thing. And I believe if you say things enough that your mind will believe it, and then your body follows. So I'm not mad at it. I think he's just putting it out there. Like, I'm not going to have tenants. I'm not going to have tenants. I'm not, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't like it.
I don't mind
and
it.
I believe in manifestation.
You think he should have kept it to himself?
Yeah.
It's just like, the reason why I say that is because some things are out of your control. What if your wide receiver slips down 4 times, right? Perfect read, perfect route initially, but he slips at the top of the route.
Jaguars last
And then
year.
boom, the ball hits the DB right in between his numbers, and it's an interception. So that's
I think
a couple
he meant interceptions caused by, like, his bad decision
he didn't
making.
say that. He didn't say that.
But most of the interceptions, I mean, yes,
Yeah,
but
right.
maybe he should have clarified. Like,
has to.
interceptions caused by me specifically. Obviously, if you throw a perfect pass to your wide receiver and he gets boomed and he dropped, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not your fault.
That didn't stop Shady McCoy last year saying he's, what did he call him, trash?
No, he said he
Dak
called him
is
something
ass.
else. Yeah.
He said he's ass.
Ass, yeah.
He called him ass after the Jacksonville game, and you can clearly look at some of those plays. I'm like, that wasn't on Dak.
Yeah,
Well,
it was.
then
So that
he
didn't
did-
stop guys
well,
like that.
he didn't do his research, so.
A lot of
Well, that's
people
what
went
I'm
in on
saying.
Dak.
That stat sheet
Well-
don't specify though.
But that's what I'm saying.
know.
Like, that's why I don't really take a lot of the Cowboys slander, like, seriously, because there's only some, like, if you watch the games and you really just, because you know what it is? It's like kind of like Knicks for clicks, as Knicks fans like to call it. Like, it's Cowboys for clicks. Like, the Cowboys are going to get you engagement regardless of whether you're saying is accurate or not. But if you really watch the games last year, a lot of those interceptions were not on Dak because he just, you know, threw a bad pass. So while, yes, the stat sheet does not differentiate, it wasn't fair for them to call him an interception machine last year when a good portion of those were not on him. But like I said, people use the Cowboys for engagement. It always works.
Yeah.
They're the most hated team probably in the NFL, the most talked about, the biggest target on their back,
They're
the
not the
biggest
most
spotlight.
hated. They're
One
not
of the
the
most
most
hated.
They up there.
No,
They're up there.
the fan base is
No,
one
the
of
team
most,
is one of the most hated.
No, I don't
For
say-
sure.
no, the
Everybody loves
team-
to talk crap about the Dallas Cowboys. They're not
people-
talking about
people
the
hate the Patriots.
fans.
He might be speaking
When you
from
say
a
the
player's
Patriots are more
perspective,
hated than
I'm not talking. You're talking about like from a player standpoint.
No, I'm talking about just period.
No, I feel like the Cowboys have to be at least top 3. When people are on those sports shows talking about the Cowboys, they're not talking about the fans. They're talking about the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys think they're big and bad, and every year they're going to the Super Bowl.
I
They
think
never
that's
do
lazy
it. Like,
sports talk.
I agree with you.
I think it's lazy sports talk because it's just like Ash, what you were just saying. It's just clicks, right? It's a storyline that continues to give year after year after year. So people can go out there and talk about the Cowboys. Oh, you know what's their answer? Another year talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Hell, I even do it. We're gonna talk about the Cowboys again. What did they earn? What are they doing? Why do they deserve this spot?
Everybody loves talking about the Dallas Cowboys. That's how I feel about my Knicks.
Well, they might come up a little bit later. I want to get into the show though. We got a good show for the people.
Oh, I thought we started.
We're gonna get into a lot of stuff today. Yesterday we saw the deadline come and go for teams who designated
Yikes.
players with the franchise tag to sign them to long-term deals. And of course, 2 stories that we were following with Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, they failed to come to long-term deals. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And we're also going to give you each of our top 5 most annoying fan bases. Will the Cowboys pop up?
I'm sure they will.
We shall see. We shall see.
sure they will.
But we're going to get through some news of the day real quick. Guys, I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. The Adidas Crazy Infinity chalks are set to release tomorrow. That's Wednesday, July 19th. So they get inspiration from the Kobe 3 that actually didn't release. When Kobe was initially signed to Adidas, he had 2 shoes that had released, and the third was like the Kobe 3. And this shoe, the Crazy Infinity, kind of takes a little bit from there. This shoe also takes inspiration from the Audi TT Roadster. Cop or pass on these shoes?
For me, I'll personally pass, but I'll cop for my sons.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I feel. Ashley, how about you?
Okay. Let me put them up again. I don't love them.
Yeah.
See, the Kobe variation I liked because you see how thin the sole is, like the bottom of the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know what the sole is,
Yeah.
This is way too thick for me.
It's too thick?
It's too much white.
Okay.
That sole's way too high. It's too much.
But that's
like
what makes the shoe, though.
no, but if you look at the Kobe variation, it's the same silhouette,
what you're saying.
but the yellow goes down further, so it doesn't look as moon shoey like.
What I don't
you know
like
what I
is
mean?
what I don't like is that zipper. That's like the Rodman to me. I don't like
bothering
the,
me.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what. This is an immediate cop for me. I hope that I can actually get my hands on these tomorrow. I was telling them in the pre-production show, like,
Really?
I think these shoes are tough, and I almost like that nobody else likes them because they're gonna
I
be
don't
on my
dislike
foot.
them. I just would have designed them a little bit differently.
Really?
I know
Yeah.
I love the zipper. I love the zipper, and you guys can't tell really from any of these pictures, but like the look with the zipper down kind of looks tough. You guys have to do your research on that. But I could wear these on the basketball court, and I feel like I could wear these with an outfit as well. I like.
You
I
could
think-
wear these with an outfit, but you were
Yeah.
dissing
No,
you
the
can't wear these.
Iversons.
You can't wear that with an
But
outfit.
he was dissing
Yes,
the
yes, you can.
Iversons and
Yes,
how
you
people
can.
weren't wearing the Iversons
can't wear
with
those
the
either.
outfit.
You
You
But
can't
definitely
wear the
wear this with an
Iversons with no
outfit.
outfit.
back
You
in the
can't
day,
wear
they
those
used
with no
no. I
outfit.
said back in the day
It's
they
called
were.
forcing.
Nah,
It's
everyone
called
in New York,
forcing.
all the fly guys in New York were wearing Iversons. I don't know about y'all, but
Man, New Yorkers wear Timbs in the summer.
Exactly.
relax.
Y'all wear
I
butters.
haven't broke out my Timbs
Butters
all
in the
year.
summer.
Calm down. Like,
Butters in the summer.
What you talk? I said we talking about the
No.
guys from the Bronx and.
No, I'm saying back in the day,
Brooklyn.
it was like the oversized white tee, the Iversons, the baggy jeans. That was a look. But like,
Can we throw that picture back up?
Corey, where are you wearing
Did these
these?
gentlemen?
I'm wearing these. This is what I told Woo before the show. I said I'm wearing these with some like a baggy cargo like pant or something like that with a graphic tee. That's a look.
Ashley, did these gentlemen also wear wristbands and have do-rags on at this time?
Wristbands?
Yeah, like little white wristbands and
No, but I will
do-rags.
tell you something. though.
Multiple.
I will tell you
Multiple
something.
and little Band-Aids?
No, first of all, it's not Nelly. Calm down. I will tell you something though. I was a sucker for a guy in a do-rag back in the day.
Throw
was.
that graphic back up, please. So for everyone who's listening, we're talking about the Adidas Crazy Infinities that's coming out Wednesday. You can't see this graphic, obviously, because you're listening to us. Mm-hmm. So I would advise you to Google when you're not driving, if you're driving, to see what we are talking about. Or you can go to YouTube and watch us. Here's what I would say here, right? Like there's more information here. And I'm glad that you brought this up. For some of us who aren't, the avid basketball fans like Ashley Nicole Moss and didn't know or remember that Kobe Bryant was signed to Adidas for a few years.
Back in the Disney.
Signed
Right,
Nike
like-
in 2002.
Right. And listen, he looks actually really good in Adidas. And I'm actually surprised that this didn't work out. And I tried to do some research and find out what happened. And I couldn't dig up enough information that was worthy of me bringing to paper route.
Let me see if I can
But
find
it's
it. I feel like I know
obvious
that story,
Nike
though.
came in and just gave him the bigger bag because he turned down $200 million from Adidas in like 2002. So in '97, his rookie year, Adidas came to him and signed him. The relationship was off to a really good start. Adidas was happy. Obviously, Kobe Bryant had his eyes set on something else at the end of this thing. He ended up going to Nike.
Oh, I have
In
it.
the background waiting was who for that $200 million. He didn't get the $200 million, he got $100 million. It was T-Mac. And T-Mac's been with Adidas for 20-something years. And there's only been a handful, not even a handful of guys that had that type of run. Only two outside of T-Mac. That's Michael Jordan, the Jordan brand and the Nike. And then there's Allen Iverson, who y'all just brought up, and Reebok. And then there's T-Mac, right? And so this is a historical shoe. This is a big shoe. And I'm curious to see what it does, Corey, after its release date.
So the background of the Kobe Bryant Adidas relationship was after the Kobe 2s came out in 2000. I remember those shoes. They bombed in sales. Like it did not do
Kobe
well.
bombed?
No, the Kobe 2s.
The twos,
When
I
the
thought
shoe
the twos
came
looked
out,
better than the ones.
well, they didn't do well in terms of sales. And after that, Kobe wanted out of his contract. It's reported he paid $8 million to get himself out of his Adidas contract after the summer of 2002. And then the buyout had a condition that he could not sign with another brand until 2003, which ended up becoming Nike, and then the Mamba shoe and all that stuff. But it was the Kobe 2 that was the catalyst for him wanting to get out of his deal with Adidas because it didn't do well.
That's interesting.
Yep.
All right.
You think it was? You think that's all it was?
I mean, your whole, when you have a signature shoe, you want it to do well. You know what I mean? Like, you, from the designs, people wearing it, you want it to sell. If it doesn't, and you're Kobe Bryant,
right?
It's not like you're a bench player with a signature shoe. It's like, okay, well, you're lucky you have a shoe. You're Kobe Bryant and your shoe doesn't do well. That means marketing wasn't there, the design wasn't there,
So he was like,
the
F
push,
this
the
brand.
behind the shoe. Yeah, he probably just felt like, you guys aren't doing what you need to do. I need to go somewhere that's going to actually do it. So.
Yeah, and if you're Kobe Bryant, you want kids in your shoe. You want kids all across the world in your shoe. And at that time, in 2002, Jordans were growing in popularity. You know, even more. So Nike probably sold him a dream and was like, look, we can get as many kids in Kobe as we got kids in Jordans. So
which is interesting, which is interesting how he even ended up with Adidas, because Nike was a big deal at that time. It wasn't like back in the day when Jordan was going through his signature shoe situation.
Probably want to be different.
You know, like Nike was the top dog at the time. So it's interesting that he
Adidas.
even signed with Adidas to begin with.
Yeah.
We should hit Miami Daily up. I don't have their socks on today, but I got these shoes from the Daily that I have on now. We should hit them up and see if they have a few pair coming in.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll bless us.
You're right.
Well, not me.
Oh, no. It's
and
possible.
Jazz.
It's possible, but they are releasing exclusively on Packer. So I don't know if they.
Oh.
I don't know if they got something with Packer, but
Packer? What's
I'm
Packer?
sure they might have pull. It's like
heard of Packer?
it's kind of like something similar to GOAT.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I never heard of
another
Packer.
Yeah, it's
Another app.
Yeah.
So there's StockX. There's Packer now.
Yeah.
There's GOAT.
There's GOAT. What else?
I love GOAT though.
I
I'm
do
a big
like
I'm a
GOAT.
big GOAT fan.
You like GOAT because the brand and the aesthetic and the layout and the
I also
efficiency of the website.
trust how they like verify their shoes and
Yeah, it's like a good
things like that.
process.
I just personally have never heard a bad thing about GOAT. You know, StockX can be a little iffy sometimes.
Yeah.
They've been in the news before. I just trust GOAT's authenticity process.
You said it
Authentic- Authenticity.
Authentication process.
Authentication process. That's the
What's
word.
the difference between that and what
Authenticity is more of an
Same
adjective.
thing.
Yeah, right.
Where what is
got
it?
it.
Authentication process.
Authentication is more of a verb.
I think everybody got it.
Okay.
I understand.
I was just trying to clarify.
I think GOAT is the perfect segue to our next piece of news. Aaron Donald becomes the most decorated Madden 99 club member. He set the record with 799 overalls in Madden. That surpassed the record of Peyton Manning. Does that make Aaron Donald the defensive GOAT? Brandon Marshall.
Dang, you just gonna do that? Aaron Donald, the defensive GOAT. I think this adds to the conversation. His career obviously is still underway. I think that Aaron Donald finishing strong will put him in position to be the GOAT and a top 5 all-time NFL player. So yes, this is cool. Madden ratings. It definitely is paid attention to by players. So any player out there that you hear say, I don't pay attention to it, I don't see it. Yes, they do. Even the guys who don't even play Madden, they're watching. What's my Madden rating? What's my speed? What's my catch? What's my jump? So this definitely matters. This is a big conversation in the locker room, and guys want to see their ratings continue to increase. All right. And with Aaron Donald, this is a big deal. What is it? 7 years in a row, I think they said.
So 6 in a row, but 7 total.
So six in a row, he's been 99.
6 in a row, he's been 99, but 7 total. He took a dip to 98 in 2011.
Dip to 98. The audacity.
He took a dip to 98 after he missed a year from his neck injury. I don't know if you guys remember that.
He missed a year? Aaron Donald missed a year?
Yeah, or
Wow.
missed some
Whole
time.
year.
I'm not sure if it was a full year, but he missed some time.
And this is
it was around 20.
I got him missing 4 games in 2014.
This is also interesting because last year he missed some time.
Though.
Last year, Aaron Donald missed some time. So for him to get this nod,
Oh,
the
yeah.
first thing I thought about when I saw, like, damn, AD got a 99, I was like, okay, they got it right because he's going to come back and he's going to have a big year if he stays healthy. But he wasn't healthy all last year. He didn't even finish the year. So how do you give him a 99? And the first thing I thought about was like, yo, they're just intimidated of AD, scared. I've never been on a player with a more intimidating like presence.
AD?
Yeah, and like I'm the type of dude, I don't know how to explain this, but like I love football and I love the game, the purity of it. But it was really personal for me. And I could go to the other side really quickly, right? And I'm saying that because, like, I don't scare easy. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's scaring anybody, it's going to be me on the field. Any coach, any owner, doesn't matter, right? One time, we playing against the Rams in New York, and I caught a slant or something, made a move, got up the field for about 22 yards or whatever, and I'm jogging back to the huddle. And then all I hear is Aaron Donald say, if you ever effing let him do you like that again, you'll never be on this field with me again. And I turn and look. Whoa. He talking to his D lineman like that, his own teammate. He telling the dude, because like Big Cart or guard walking back to the huddle, smile, laughing. I'm like, damn, Cart, what you do? He's like, man, I just mudded him. So Big Cart then put the dude on drove him about 10 yards and then put him on his back. Aaron Donald didn't like that. He's like, why would you let another man do you like that? But he ain't say it like that, Ashley. So the first thing I thought about when I saw this rating after last year, I said, yo, AD intimidated somebody. I was like, man, I never heard a dude talk to another man like that on the field.
He said another grown man like that.
But your teammate, though, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't the coach.
Yeah.
He's not the general manager. He said, if you ever let him do you like that again, you will never be on this field with me again, ever. He said, whoa.
So crazy.
When I tell him that story, he always looks at me and laughs. He's the sweetest person in the world.
He is very nice. I've met him once. He's a very nice guy.
It's a switch.
Yeah.
He turns into a totally different person.
He's a very nice guy.
And you know why? Because we're from the same neighborhood, Lincoln Larmer. Some about some Pittsburgh boys. I'm telling you. I'm weak.
All right, I got something else for y'all. Jerry Rice said that he didn't sleep or eat before any of his Super Bowl appearances. Brandon, can you relate to this? Like, did you ever like fast? Like,
Hell
Can
no.
he relate to this?
Damn.
that went over my head that I had just mentioned Super Bowl appearances. Y'all cut me off. I was gonna say, can you relate to this?
You're a sneaky sniper, Corey.
Right.
From the side. Hey, Brandon, can you relate to that? That's sleeping before a Super Bowl appearance?
Soft spot, Corey.
No, they didn't start over.
Go ahead.
You ever see that video of Jamal Adams trying to get into the Jets facility and his card's not working? That's gonna be Corey tomorrow. He's gonna be trying to get into the building. Why is it not opening?
I'm really gonna phrase it the same way. Brandon, can you relate to this in the sense that you would do this before big games? You had big games. You were an NFL player that had to play in big, meaningful games during the regular season.
Listen, I respect the OG Jerry Rice. Yeah. There's so many legendary stories that come out surrounding him and his approach to the game and practice and his training. There's one legendary story that I absolutely love, but I absolutely don't believe. There was a story that he's sitting around with guys and guys were asking about the off season and how they should approach training, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, look, my wife and I didn't take a vacation until after I retired. Now, Jerry Rice played 20 years, okay, 19 years, 20 years. I don't believe that crap, okay? So, like, even with this, it's like it's a lot of this stuff is hard for me to believe because Jerry Rice is a storyteller. Jerry Rice understands his legend, and he continues to add to his legend. Right? Like, oh my goodness, you did what before a game? You did what before a season? How many hills did you run? I don't believe that. I believe he was one of the hardest workers we've ever seen in sports. But when you say, Jerry Rice didn't sleep before a game, I can understand that. Meaning, like, did he sleep? Absolutely, he probably
Just
did.
didn't
But
sleep
he probably
soundly.
Yeah, I
Really?
can understand. I get that one. And then eat. Now, what does that mean when you say you didn't eat before his Super Bowl appearances? So Super Bowls kickoffs are roughly around 6 o'clock, depending on if it's on East Coast, West Coast. So that means you wake up at you didn't go to
You
sleep.
say you didn't sleep. You didn't wake up.
So you didn't eat all day?
No, I don't believe it. I mean, he probably didn't have a big meal like hours before the game.
No, he said he didn't eat, Ashley.
No, like the sleep I can believe. Like I know me when I have like a big event the next day, like my mind's just constantly running. So like I'm sleeping, but it's not soundly. Like my mind's actively, like I'm not in a deep sleep. Like I'm tossing, I'm turning. Maybe not like, I get up for a little bit and maybe I fall back asleep. It's not like a full 8 hours. So that I could believe. It's just like the nerves and the jitters and you're running different scenarios in your head. So I can believe the sleep thing. The food, I also don't necessarily think it's like verbatim, I didn't eat.
So
for me, I feel like
literal.
he stopped eating maybe a few hours before, maybe 6 hours. Like he didn't have a big meal, so his stomach wasn't full. Maybe he didn't throw up, things like that. But he ate at some point during that day.
The food thing is not far off for me because, there's a lot of guys that don't eat before games, right? They just can't. They have too many butterflies. Like, so interesting. We had one of our Giants in here today getting ready to, still in the off season before they go back to camp. And I'm literally walking in here yesterday to come to the show, and he's in the hallway, X, and he's like, yo, he's walking with his homeboy. He's like, yo, B, did you used to get butterflies before games too? I said, hell yeah, every game, right? He's like, oh, man. You know what I mean? Thinking about like, oh, is that a little league thing? But guys always have these butterflies. Guys always have these things that they deal with at all levels. And so eating is one of those things where some guys just don't eat anything. Some guys may just eat fruit.
That's eating though.
That's
like
true.
If
That's true.
eating a
That's
meal
true.
and eating a protein bar are two different things, but it's still eating.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
I believe he ate. I just don't think he ate meals. I think he had a protein bar that day, maybe a banana.
I'll tell you
like maybe a smoothie. Like
so we're taking this too literal.
I think so. I mean, unless if he meant it literally, then I don't know how he was functioning because I get very angry when I'm hungry.
I completely believe that he did not sleep or eat before Super Bowl appearances.
So you think he was playing in the biggest games of his life with zero sleep?
Have you seen Jerry Rice's stats?
With zero, and you think he was doing that with zero sleep? Come on, bro.
I think.
Not even a power nap?
I think the mental capacity to play at the level he did, for the extent that he did, makes this believable, in my opinion. I think the greats, because what I can't fathom either is how like these NBA greats say that they used to shoot like 300 shots in a row, and if they miss it, they would start over.
But they did it with food in their stomach.
Hold on.
But there's
NBA
just
greats said what?
There's crazy stories like that are just
300
unfathomable.
shots in a row, and they miss.
Who was it
they
that
start
used to
over?
do
They
that?
start over.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. But like I do believe that there are actual NBA greats that did stuff like that, and like this doesn't seem far fetched when you hear stories like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that somebody
Kobe
didn't
used to do
sleep
that.
or eat. Like
Not
I believe that
300
there are
shots
players.
in a
No,
row.
Kobe used to do that. Kobe would shoot.
That's what you just said. 300 shots in a row.
No, 300. For
Like
real,
after a game, or like he would, and if he would, or in
That don't make
practice and
sense.
things, if he missed it, he would start over.
300 might be exaggerated, but
it
Brandon,
was like
even if it's
100,
100, even if it's 100 in a row.
I hear what y'all saying. Yes, I understand shooting and then starting over. Like, hey, I'm gonna get 300, 500,000 shots up, but not in a row.
No, in a row.
They're not making no 300 something in a row.
That's why you wasn't with me in the gym. 'Cause
Right.
You
Bro,
couldn't
yeah,
tell.
Relax.
What was that one? There was a 3 years ago. Steph Curry had a crazy video
I think
where
it
he
was,
made how many threes in a
150,
row?
120, something like that.
It was something crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's doing it. There's
Y'all have this conversation. My contact ripped in my eye, so I have to take it out. But y'all go ahead.
goodness.
That's why I'm like, I feel it.
Well, we got to move on.
105. He had
105.
105
There we go.
consecutive
105
3-pointers.
threes?
Consecutive.
Yeah, man.
3-pointers.
I remember that.
They
That was
out here
legendary.
doing it.
It was,
They out
it
here
was
doing it.
2020.
Think about it. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter ever, had 105 in a row, and we talking about somebody saying 300. That's what my
Every day.
yeah. Come on, man.
Every day.
Yeah,
Nah,
but listen,
Corey
but
wants
these
the
guys-
legend,
All
I
right,
think.
all right. So like, I might have heard also like 300, and you can't miss 2 in a row or something like that. You can't back to back. Like these are legitimate NBA workouts. I wish we had somebody like Stack on so he can say.
What
if
makes
he's
you
heard
believe that
workouts
Jerry
like
Rice did that, though?
Bro, that's impossible.
Dude.
It's humanly impossible
To
to
do
make
this, though?
300
okay,
free
you
throws
on
in a
that.
row.
Yeah, he said even free throws.
Yeah, even free throws. It's humanly impossible.
I wonder what the chat thinks. Does they think that's impossible? But no, Jerry Rice sleeping and not sleeping and not eating before Super Bowl, I believe it. But no, how about this, y'all? We're gonna move on. Justin Fields names himself as a top 5 rushing quarterback in NFL history. How do y'all feel about that? Do you
history?
Think in history, actually? He says in history.
That's a big
Listen, I like Justin Fields. I like what the Chicago Bears are doing
There's
right
a butt
now.
in there.
But for him to come out there and say that he's top 5 rushing quarterbacks in NFL history, there's a few things that I don't like about this. One, you're putting yourself in a box. Who cares about being a top 5 rushing quarterback?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be the best quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So I don't like that language. And then 2, he did it last year. Phenomenal. I think he broke records. I think he did things that's never been done before. So I can understand why he's throwing himself in that conversation. But don't you have to wait a little bit? You understand? Don't you have to wait and do it 2, maybe 3 years?
That's a little.
But
Lamar
premature.
Jackson,
right.
Michael Vick, Cameron Newton,
Cameron Newton.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
Hell, I even put up Steve Young.
Yes, and so Fran Tarkin is the last name that's been kind of thrown into the pot of quarterbacks, with rushing ability in all, in the NFL history. So those were names that came up. In my opinion, Brandon, so look, it's like when we spoke about this in the production meeting, my initial thought was, no, come on, top 5 rushing quarterback in NFL history. But then when I really crunched the numbers and then really looked at the names,
here we go.
He might be that. He might be that. But to the point
cares?
That you made, exactly. To the point that you just made, though, you're saying, why would you want to put yourself in that category, in that hole almost? So I hear you on that. But he has the second highest rush total in a season, 1,100 yards. There's really no quarterback that was doing that. You can't say, in my opinion, that Fran Tarkenton is a better runner.
You can't say history though.
Steve
This
Young,
is the thing.
Randall Cunningham. I could put him in 5. I could put him at 5.
No, but you can't say history. You know how
you
far
say
that goes.
season.
You know
I
how
had the
far that
greatest
goes
season.
back.
Why? I'm willing
When
to
we talk history, we're going back far. We're talking the history of the NFL and
whose running ability is up there with Justin Fields.
Tebow, you ain't even put Tebow in there.
Stop.
Bro, you have to put. You can't. Tebow did it for a couple
What about a young
years.
Russell? What about a young Russell Wilson?
He rushed for more yards than Tebow in 1 year.
What about a young Russell Wilson was a runner?
No.
I mean, not like Justin Fields,
and that's also
but
why I don't want to put guys like Steve Young and Randall Cunningham in front of him, because these are guys, in my opinion, who had running ability but weren't really runners. So that's why.
But if he said NFL history, you have to go through the entire history book. You can't just selectively choose.
I think those are all the names. I think those are all the names. Cam Newton, Michael Vick, Fran Tarkenton, Cunningham. They got McNair in there. I wouldn't consider him a runner.
Patrick Mahomes in?
Bobby Douglas. I'm not really sure who that is.
Why you can't put Steve Young in here? Steve Young is the most
remembered.
You say Michael Vick?
I think he had ability. I think
Michael Vick?
He's a scrambler.
Yeah, they got Michael Vick.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there. I think 1 is Lamar Jackson. I think 2 is Michael Vick. In my opinion, I think 3 is Cam Newton. I think 4.
Was Kaepernick a runner?
As a rusher, Young carried the ball 722 times and garnered 4,239 yards for his career and averaged 5.9 yards per carry. Why can't we put Steve Young in this category and have him a part of this conversation?
He can.
I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. He might be 4 or 5. But I think Justin Fields could be in there. I mean, like you said, he doesn't have the resume.
Yeah,
he has 1 year.
Like if you say if he said I had the greatest season ever, then that's different. Like, because when you look at stats, there's 2 categories we look at, right? Season and career. Season, yes, you did it one season. But over a career, like our history, that means sustained success. And there's no, is it sustained?
Sustainability.
Sustainability?
Yes.
I can't say no suspension. No sustaintion. No sustaintion. There's
I'm
I'm going to make up a word right here. There's no sustaintion if it's only a year.
I love the delivery of that.
No, look, he tripping though. He tripping because like it's come on, Corey. It's like a receiver going out there and saying, "Yo, I'm the best third down receiver in the history of the game."
Yeah.
Like what?
Not really an accomplishment there.
Like what?
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it. Actually, you had something to add in there before we get on to this running back conversation?
No, I mean
Suspension.
I guess like when
I like that word.
I don't know. I guess you want credit where credit's due. I don't know.
Will you had something?
Brandon Marshall here, Corey in the cut, Woo out west, BC in the booth, the kids in the back. I hear my kids yelling and screaming while we trying to YouTube. We're YouTubing in here right now. Paper route. Did I say Ashley Nicole Moss? Mm-hmm. Faction Talk Channel 103 for all of our listeners. Sirius XM, big partner. We're super excited, guys. We haven't even talked to our teammates, our squad. We're trying to find a name for everyone in the chat. Our own cohort. Is that what we call? Is it cohort?
I think we got one. They've been using it.
What have they been using?
Paper chasers.
Oh.
Paper chasers.
That's
No, I don't
cool.
like that.
No.
I mean,
they use it every morning.
You like that?
Paper chasers?
You like that?
I actually thought it was kind of dope.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
It kind of evolved on its own.
I would like paper boys, but that doesn't adhere to our female audience. Paper
Correct.
people.
Yeah.
Paper people.
Paper people.
Paper people.
Yo.
The audience, they like paper chasers.
Nah, but paper chasers is cool. Paper chasers is cool.
I don't even know what I was talking about, but to our people. Sorry, Corey.
No, go ahead.
We got football season underway. We
do?
are probably 6.5 weeks away from some real football. Is it 6.5 weeks? I'm not
It's
sure.
8 more It was 8 more Sundays last Sunday, so this will be 7 more Sundays until football.
Okay.
So if you count the last week of preseason, then I
Right.
guess 6.
So that's coming up.
No, that Hall of Fame game is
I know a lot of people have been
fast
asking about our weekly show. We'll bring that back here in August, September, October, November, December, one of those months. We're working hard. You look at
He just gave him 6 months that we might come back.
Coming back sometime. They gonna come back.
Y'all gonna see us.
Yeah, it's gonna come back. But right now we focus on paper route, and you guys have been blessing us so much. And we just want to say thank you guys for rocking with us. There's so much going on in the industry right now. There's so much going on internally with us. You know, we're working extremely hard to bring you this amazing product, all of us involved. So we just want to say thank you. Keep rocking with us. What's going on in the chat right now before we move forward? Anything cool? Any new faces? Because I've been kind of gone for a little bit. You got Christy O still here. Is Christy O still
Christy
involved?
O's still here. She's holding it down.
Miss Pamela still here?
She's still
yeah.
Is
King Cook?
We got
what
King
is that
Cook,
one
B.
dude
Morale,
that
B.
was a
Morale.
hater but turned into a
Ghost
lover?
St. Patrick?
Yeah, Ghost St. Patrick. Is he still here?
I haven't
You
seen
know,
Ghost
I haven't
in a while.
seen
Like,
No, I feel like Ghost was here.
Y'all need
Was
to
he?
check on it. Hey, paper chasers, y'all need to check on y'all people.
Yeah.
Nah,
Where's
but the
Ghost
family's
St.
been
Patrick?
growing.
Right. Yeah,
The family's been growing for
Yeah,
sure.
Ghost St. Patrick was a staple. I haven't seen him in a while.
Y'all know how to check on y'all people?
Yeah, I know, right? But hey, Brandon, actually what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Saquon Barkley. We're going to talk
Do
about
we have more
Josh
news of the day,
Jacobs.
Corey?
No, I think that was it. That was it for news of the day.
Really?
We ran through them. Yep. But yeah, when we get back, we're going to talk about just this whole running back situation, right? In the state of the running back market. So we'll be right back. We'll see you.
It's dead.
So when I first got in the league, when I was in Denver, we had all these. DJ Williams used to be on the show. He was the one passing around the Vialis.
Cialis and
The Cialis.
that's different.
Whatever
dog.
it's called.
No, we
Cialis,
talking about
Vialis.
surgery.
But we wasn't doing Viagra.
That one is still
So what
fire.
happens is they was passing them out before the game. We was taking them because when it thins out your blood, energy, and you go longer.
I'm not talking about Cialis, and I'm talking about actual surgery.
Oh, what you saying?
Yeah, like enlargement.
Yeah,
surgery.
that's what I'm talking about, enlargement.
People be really
People
doing
be
that.
doing that?
Yes.
I ain't know nothing about that.
No, see, y'all, listen. Y'all talking about something that's gonna keep it right for 36 hours.
Yeah. No,
Now,
yeah.
his motherfucker taking that shit, they can be that way forever.
Oh my God.
Yes.
In the league,
That's how you get
In the
suspended.
NBA?
That's how you get suspended.
people do that in the NBA.
Y'all
Y'all 6'7", 6'8". I thought like,
What does that have to do with anything?
is that a pause?
That's a major pause.
I'm just saying.
That's major.
I never heard of that.
That was kind
He
of
said
OD.
the shoe size and
That was
size
kinda
are not
OD.
clicking.
Ain't no OD.
Let's skip that
Ain't no
part right
OD.
there.
You heard he said I'm corny. I'm corny.
Let's get back to the basketball.
I'm secure in my manhood. Tell me I'm sorry.
Don't have surgery.
This is really happening right now?
Brandon. Like what? Yes.
Bro, let me tell you, ain't nobody getting suspended for taking Cialis.
But what's the problem? But okay, let's say they doing that. What you say they doing it. What's wrong with that? Why they gotta be suspended over that? If they feel like they need to be.
Because it has something in there.
Yes.
It has a steroid in there.
Ingredient in
Same
it.
way
It's
if
a
you
steroid
take an
ingredient.
Okay.
on a steroid.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
It's no different than in the NFL. I forget the player, but there was a player who was
I can't
trying
think of their names.
to conceive with his wife, and she was going through, I want to say, in vitro, and she was going through the fertilization of her eggs, and he was on medication to, I think, increase his testosterone. Wasn't doing it to increase his performance. It was to have a baby, and he got suspended because the ingredient in there still comes up in a test.
Remember what Eddie Murphy said on Golden Child?
What he
They
said?
tried to sell him that stuff to help keep the yang up. What that boy say? Ain't nothing wrong with my yang.
Are you the best defensive player, or are you the best player to ever play football?
I'm not saying I'm the best player to ever play football.
What about
But
defense?
am I the best defensive player? Okay. If not, who?
Brandon?
Reggie White.
Reggie White's a great player, and I put him up there in the same class as myself. Every time I walk into a room, or I pick up a paper or something, it's LT, hey, I see an article, they talk about all these people, and then always at the last, my name always shows up in the last sentence of the last paragraph, just before they say greatest of all time. Okay.
Hey, do you think you could have played in this era?
Yeah, if I didn't want a paycheck, yeah. Kick me out of the game every week. Now, but yeah, I can play in an era. I think I can. I mean, I am rugged enough to play in this era. I don't know. That's a hard question, man.
Could you have cleaned your game up though? The violence, the
It was
aggression.
clean. That was clean as I could get it. I was clean.
Then you can't play in this era. Then.
It might be a problem. I may have to play a different position. Maybe have to move to the inside, where it was a little easier.
We're back. So yeah, as I was saying before the break, we're going to talk about this running back situation. So yesterday at 4 p.m. was the deadline for teams to sign a franchise player to a multi-year contract or extension, and Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs failed to land new deals. So it was actually right ahead of the deadline that Saquon Barkley posted. It was actually at 3:54 p.m. precisely. It is what it is, insinuating that, a deal hadn't been done. So, I mean, I want to start with Saquon and really just, sit here with it. How does this impact the Giants offense? We're talking about a guy, 350 plus touches last year. He was also a guy, again, at the running back position, had 70 plus targets, accounted again for 40% of the offense. How does this impact the Giants and how they'll look next year?
Can I just tell you real quickly?
He isn't a part of the
It is
team.
what it is one of my favorite sayings.
Why?
Because you can just use it for so many scenarios.
No, you're right.
It is what it is.
You're right.
It is what it is.
I would say this, Corey, and I'm stealing this from someone. I was on the internet like a lot of us, just scrolling and trying to keep up with the news of the day. And so I don't know who said this, but they basically said Saquon Barkley isn't the Giants running back. Saquon Barkley is the Giants offense.
Yep.
Say that again.
I heard that too, actually.
Yeah. And so we gotta note that. But at the end of the day, this falls on Saquon Barkley. It falls on his representation. It falls on other running backs out there and their representation that's been seeing this dwindling market for years. And it's important for us to understand like the full picture, because I'm not saying it's their fault for not being able to get ahead of it. What I'm saying is their fault for not being able to be more creative, right? Because if you look at Saquon Barkley as a running back, it's like, okay, great. We understand why teams are hesitant to pay at this phase. But if you look at Saquon Barkley from an offense perspective, you'd be like, all right, well, he's more valuable than all the other running backs out there because he also had 54 catches for us. Yep. Which was number 1 in receptions Out of all the Giants.
That's crazy.
Think about that. There was no wide receiver that had more catches than Saquon Barkley. Now, but when you look at the numbers, 54, that's kind of like what you're going to get from a really good running back out of the backfield. 40 to 50 catches, right? Elite. That's the Austin Eckler's out there. That's the McCaffrey's out there. They're going to give you 80 to 100 something catches a year. That's what they can do. Alvin Kamara, that's what they're going to do. But on this team, Saquon Barkley worth so much more. So what the running backs need to understand is, I can't say that they did it to themselves, but they kind of did it to themselves, Ashley.
I mean,
because if you look at
part, remember the CBA.
It's not CBA.
The CBA is a big part of
no,
this, though,
it's
Brandon.
not. It's not. You got to look at production. And because I'm trying to, I'm always going to try to fight for the athletes because I am an athlete. I sat in those positions. We talked about this way before this conversation was a national conversation. It's like, yo, this is dead. The running back position is dead. But Ashley, if you look at the numbers, even Alvin Kamara, I'll pull it up for you. I got it right here for you. And then you can push back on me if you want to. Or if you can, please try. But Alvin Kamara came in the league in 2017, Ashley. He had 81 catches. And I'm focused on him as a receiver than a running back because that's how he ended up getting paid, right? He got a big deal. So coming in 2017, he has 81 catches. Then he has another 81 catches. Then another 81 catches. I don't know how the hell he had 81 catches 3 years in a row, but he did it. And then his fourth year, 83 catches. Now he had to fight the organization to pay him. And he said, you're not going to pay me just as a running back. You're going to pay me as a receiver as well. And he was able to get it, and he ended up getting like a $70 million deal, second to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's APG, average per year, APY, $16 million. And then you have an Alvin Kamara at $15 million a year. But then after that, Ashley, what happened after he signed that deal, 2021 to 2022? He goes from 81, 83 to 47 catches to 57. And that's what I mean by they're doing it to themselves. And you can look case by case, running back by running back, where these guys, they go out there, or boys go out there, they get paid, and then production dips. Not everyone's Adrian Peterson. Not everyone's a Tomlinson. So if I'm going to digress there because I don't want to beat the dead horse, because I don't want to own this whole conversation. There's so much more I have to say. But Ashley, I feel like they did this to themselves, and the representation is slow to be creative.
Yes and no. I think that, we've spoken about this before, so there's no reason to reiterate it. We understand where the league is headed and where where it's already been. It's a pass first league. It's not a run first league anymore. And I think that you're going to see a lot of traditional style running backs deal with this situation unless they can become hybrids. And we've seen what hybrids look like in the league, and we see how hybrids get paid in the league. With that said, I think that it's concerning when you have an organization whose offense is reliant on the running back position. We're not talking about an offense that is pass first. We're not talking about an offense that has all these options at wide receiver. So the run game is it takes a back seat. And sometimes you use it, sometimes you don't. We're talking about a offense that is very reminiscent of the Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott back in the day, how it was predominantly a run offense. And if your running back was either exhausted or the offensive line couldn't get a strong enough hole for him to run through, then you went ahead and passed that ball. But with the Giants, that's not the case. Saquon is their offense. Their second running back is their quarterback. Yeah. So it's concerning when so much of your offense is reliant on a position, on a particular player, and that's still not enough for you to go ahead and pay him what he is deserving based on not only his position, but more importantly, his position within the offense and his usage within the offense. Yeah. I think that's where my frustration with this situation particularly is it's not about the running back position as a whole, because if that were just the case, then I can understand it. If the Giants, like I said, were a different type of team, I can understand not paying him. But he is your offense. So basically, it's like that saying, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. And I feel like the Giants did that in this situation because who's to say now Saquon doesn't sit out? And if he does, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say he does sit out. Now, what is your option? You're gonna run Daniel Jones into the ground?
That was my next question.
Because what is your plan B? I just don't understand the logic of not paying a player who is such a prominent part of your offense just to not pay him because of the position that he plays. Yeah. It's a confusing situation for me, truthfully. I don't understand it.
And it'd be safe to say that we'll probably see a decline in Daniel Jones's production if he goes through the season without Saquon.
Daniel Jones, I'll tell you right now, if Saquon sits, which would be within his right, because I would be pissed off too. If Saquon sits out, Daniel Jones will not see an entire season.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you right now. Yeah. It would be a miracle if their quarterback saw an entire season. Without Saquon, you are putting the risk of your quarterback on the front line. Yeah. You are risking injury. You are risking multiple concussions. You cannot constantly have your quarterback running and playing both QB and RB. That is not how this works. And if he sits out, this team will not make the playoffs. They're borderline not making the playoffs already. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Jones will get hurt. Yeah.
But I'll say this though:
the same quarterback you just paid will get hurt. By the way,
I agree. I agree with what you said, Ashley. As far as let's play the devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate
game.
Yeah.
And if he sits out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not what's going to happen. When you walk in the locker room and you look at certain guys, you look them in their eyes, like who's about that. Mm-hmm. Right? And he's not that. And it's not a bad thing. He's just a really good guy. And he's a really good pro. And their version of what that is. When we say pro in the league, that means don't rock the boat. Don't get out that box. Mm-hmm. Because if he had any bit of that in him where he could potentially sit out, he would have actually used a little bit of that to actually get more leverage. How would he have done that, Woo? He would have actually came out months ago and said, I'm not playing without this, and that. He didn't do that. Why? Reputation. I can't rock the boat. I'm in New York. I am the face of this franchise. And when you are in New York and you're a face of this franchise, like many others across the country, you don't do that. You keep your mouth quiet. You let your representation go out there and get the job done. No. But in the biggest moments in sports where things had to get done, the players had to use their platform publicly to actually push on the organization. And I'm using this as an example for other players out there who may be negotiating or may want a little bit more, but don't know how to get that. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to be willing to stand up and say, look, maybe it's not the Giants. Don't go out there and say, oh, I'm a Giant for life. Why? Because I want the fan base to be behind me forever. And B just did it. Yeah. Now they talking about exit process. Is that what y'all wrote or something? Or somebody else wrote that? It was trust the process. Now it's time to exit the process. He just said it publicly. Look, he just put it out there, a little taste. Now watch how it heats up over the next 6-7 months or maybe the next year. If he wants out and he don't get what he wants.
I have to push back on that a little bit though, because I feel like Saquon, although he wasn't maybe as flagrant with the way that he expressed it, I think he definitely left room for interpretation of what he was willing to do and what he was willing to accept. He may not have come out and said it black and white, but I don't think he made it seem like he was just going to be okay with whatever. He called cap on multiple reports. He was tweeting out little subliminals here and there. Even in the instance where we got sound bites from him, you could see that you could hear rather that he wasn't going to just do whatever the Giants wanted him to do to benefit them, that he also wanted to. I think that it's his personality, maybe not to be in your face about it.
It don't have to be
but
your
I don't think that he made it seem like he was just going to take whatever.
It's a business tech. Let me ask you, not just you, Ashley, but anybody in the room right now, was any of those sound bites that Ashley talked about or emojis, whatever, what do you guys remember? Was there anything that he ever said or posted that said, oh, there's trouble in paradise?
No, probably it is what
it is. What it is. That's probably it.
And that was yesterday.
That I could remember.
That was yesterday at the deadline.
I mean, him calling cap on that report was like, okay, there's obviously two sides to this story, and somebody's lying.
Nah, come on.
Like,
I
hear what you're saying, though, Brandon. Like you said, you don't think he has the personality and the
it's a lot of us athletes don't.
Yeah.
It's not just him. This is not beat up on Saquon Barkley.
Right.
It's a lot of these guys. Because
I feel like it's so manipulative of the NFL.
It's
right?
like, because like now you
yeah, it is manipulative.
Like this is a big conversation.
I don't think though that he's walking around thinking, first of all, if he were the face of the franchise, he would have got paid like one. I don't think he has that like just fantasized, idealized version of who he is to this organization, and that's what was preventing him.
Yes, he knows who he is. He knows his place.
If he were the face of the franchise, he would have been paid already.
That's why but that's the point.
But that's my point. You think that he's that delusional and is romanticizing what he means to the New York Giants, New Jersey Giants rather.
He said it, Ashley. He said it.
But hear what you just said. If you were the face of the franchise, or what I just said rather, if he was the face of the franchise, he would have got paid. Now he hasn't got paid. You're still walking around thinking you're the face of the franchise and they just forgot to pay you?
I'm not saying he's still walking around that way. What he said, one of the things I do remember him saying is, this process has taught me a lot.
Okay.
He taught me that it's all business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, I do believe Saquon and so many others, we walk in there because we see the owner every day for the most part. Oh, hey, what's up, Mr. B? You might be on the Stairmaster sitting next to the owner. You might be at lunch sitting next to the owner. The owner might ask you to, come jump on my helicopter today because we're going to go over here and do a charity event. Like, you're seeing these people every single day. So you get wrapped up in this fantasy that it's his family. I'm telling you. I
can't.
I'm telling you, I was in the locker room for 13 years.
Maybe before the writing is on the wall, you have that image in your head. I can believe that 100%. But you want me to sit here and believe that every opportunity you have had to get paid by this organization that you think is family and you're the face of, and every time they pass over you, you're still walking around with that romanticized version of what you mean to this franchise in your head.
No,
but this is his first contract.
No, we're talking about this is his
no,
first
but
contract.
last year, Brandon and I were talking about this yesterday. Last season, there was reportedly a deal being worked out that fell to the wayside.
Okay.
How many times?
They started talking last year, I believe.
So how many times do you have to get passed over by the franchise that you think you're the face of and walk around with this, we're a family, until you realize maybe I'm not the face and maybe we're not a family.
Well,
I don't think he's that oblivious to his surroundings.
I don't know what part of the conversation you're at. All I'm saying is, Saquon Barkley and so many others walk around not understanding. We walk around as athletes afraid to tap into what they do every single day, and that is just keep it real.
They meaning who?
Because if a player and they know this, the owners know this. The owners know that Saquon Barkley. Even a Lamar Jackson. Lamar did it a little bit, and you saw what happened. But a player to go out there and say, I don't want to be here, or I want more money, or I'm not happy here. The fan base turns against you, and now you become the problem. Now you're all over all the shows. You turn on your TV, everybody just talking about you in a bad way. That's uncomfortable for a lot of players. Holding out is uncomfortable for a lot of players. Holding in is uncomfortable for a lot of players. But that's exactly what you got to do to get your money at times.
Do you think, though, that I have a hard time believing the New York fan base can be tough? Trust me. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Yankees fan. They can be tough. When you're doing well, You can eat free at every restaurant in the world if you want to, or in New York City rather. But when you're doing bad, you better have your wallet on you because we're not giving you nothing.
Or get in line.
Right. Get in line, get your wallet, you're paying. I have a hard time believing that the New York fan base, New York I use very loosely, but the New York fan base would have turned on Saquon at this point. They're not that dumb. Like, they know what's going on.
If Saquon came out this season, if Saquon came out and said, I want, or let's say even last year, this year,
no,
whenever.
Let's do this year. Let's be
if
present.
he came out and said, I want $20 million a year.
Okay.
Right?
That's a lot.
That's
but
crazy.
It's not a lot. It's not crazy.
It's more than Christian McCaffrey.
But Christian McCaffrey's at 16. When did Christian McCaffrey sign that? So Christian McCaffrey is age 27. His total value of his contract $64 million. His average per year is $16 million. His total guarantee is $36 million.
He's also a different type of running back.
Correct. Fully guaranteed 30. It voids in 2026. That deal was signed how many years ago? So you mean to tell me the league revenue is up? Everything is up?
Yeah.
Okay, the salary cap is up. So that means what? If it's Saquon's time to get to the deal and get to the table, then that means if he is the number one running back on the market, then he should ellipse. Is it ellipse?
Eclipse.
Yeah.
No, but
he should eclipse $16 million.
But remember, he should. But remember, he's a different type of running back, and he even came out and said, he's a different type of running back, and two, he even said, I understand what the market is for running backs right now. I'm not asking for anything outside of what I deserve.
I know, but
let's make it.
But remember, I said all this to say, because to your point, Ashley, is if he did that and he came out and said I want $20 million, and I think he has the right to ask for $20 million in a fair market, the New York fan base would have said, "Why?" I
disagree.
They would have said what you just said.
I disagree.
He's not Christian McCaffrey.
I think if he came out and said, let's say, I'm going to simplify it even more. If he came out and said he wants anywhere between $15 and $20 million in that range, that's what he wants to get paid. I believe after seeing how the Giants took care of Daniel Jones, who's a mediocre quarterback, okay, I don't believe that the Giants fan base would have turned on Saquon. If anything, I think they would have backed him. Because at this point, they know how much he means to that offense. There is no playoffs without Saquon Barkley.
That's true.
Your quarterback is at risk of getting hurt every time he steps on the field without Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
I think that the New York fan base can be tough. They can be unfair sometimes, but they're not dumb. And I don't think that the Giants fan base would have turned on Saquon if he had come out and said, I want between $15 and $20 million. I don't believe that. And you can ask Will.
So you have to be very strategic. I do agree with you that Saquon Barkley is in an interesting position with the New York fan base and also this team because of everything that you just said.
Right.
And if Saquon and his team played their cards right and still can play their cards right, that New York fan base will flip on the organization and call them out. And they've been known to do that for some years. They did that. When I was playing there in 2018, they were tired of the Tisch family and the Mara family. What are y'all doing? Eli this, Eli that. And they really gave it to him. So I do agree that he's in an interesting position and what has been in an interesting position, but they haven't played their cards right.
No, I agree. Haven't played their cards.
They haven't played their cards right to pull that. I can't talk today. That lever. Somebody said
use the leverage.
Lever. I said lever. Somebody said Brandon is showing how difficult the English language is. All right, but hear me out here, Ashley. Okay. Because we going tit for tat with all these little things. What I'm saying about players, okay, it's not a Saquon Barkley thing, is we are afraid because of all these factors, the fan base, ownership, brand deals, what the greats in the past have done, what they tell you a pro is supposed to be, how you're supposed to conduct your business, all these things that they tell us, and all these things that's out there. We are afraid to go against that because we don't want to be uncomfortable and we don't want to hurt our reputation. Okay. And that's why players sit there and they don't say anything. They don't hold out. They don't hold in. And guess what? They get taken advantage of. And I feel like this should be a wake-up call, not only for the running back position, but for all athletes like, man, what else can we do? This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible because, Ash, I'm with you. He is. He's not just a running back. We talked about that at the beginning. He is the offense.
Yeah.
This is disrespectful.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is, because like we have a writer's strike right now, and those are creators who are willing to stand out on the street corner and pridefully say, yo, I need this. And we have very strong individuals, millionaires that are just, I guess,
what
more
fan
willing.
base is pushing back
I'll
on the
say
writer?
this, though.
That's true. There isn't a fan
too much
base.
like
But
I'll say-
I do want to see them stand up for themselves. Sorry.
I
Ashley.
will say this, though, on that note. I was on radio at the time. I was working for iHeartRadio when the CBA first was proposed, a new one. And I remember having this conversation on radio, and the clip is, I can find it at some point.
We're
but
Sirius XM today.
it was, right.
We're so glad to
But
have her.
back in the day, a few years ago, I remember having this very conversation. Did you know there was over 500 players who did not vote on the new CBA?
Oh, yeah.
Over 500. So, like, when you think about that,
And how many players are there?
and
Yeah,
how,
that's
but
what I was
no, but
gonna
when you
say.
think about how many, yes, when you
Less
think about
than
how
2,000.
think about that. So it's frustrating when there are rules and regulations and changes to the National Football League that are going to either affect current players or future players, and there are people who just say, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to make my voice heard. No, I know it's not, but I'm saying it's not. When you talk about getting together, and one of the reasons that the NBA is able to get things done is because those players band together. Those players move as a unit.
They
The
understand the
NFL's
power.
biggest problem has always been, although it is a league where there's a brotherhood, when it comes down to banding together to make rules and changes that benefit the greater good of the player, they can't seem to unify.
Correct.
It's only a small group or small groups of players within the NFL that are able to go ahead and band together to move forward. But then there are a lot of players who are like, I got to worry about me. I got to worry about my family. I can't worry about whatever else has to go on. Or I'm going to be out the league in a few years. This is not my problem. That's so contradictory to how the NBA moves,
until
which
it's
is
on your
why
plate.
they're so many light years ahead in terms of their players association and the things they are allowed to do and not allowed to do within the league. Same thing with the Major League Baseball leagues. With Major League Baseball, the NFL has notoriously had an issue with the players banding together, which is why the owners and these franchises are able to get away with murder sometimes because they don't band together to make rules that benefit them as players first. And it's frustrating. When I found that number out, that 2,000, a little bit over 2,000 players in the NFL and over 500
I'll
of you
mess you
or
up
around
worse.
500 of you didn't even vote.
I'll mess you up worse. It's actually lower than that. It's 1,696. 1,500 are active, so if 500 don't vote, that's a 30-year league.
That's insane to me.
That's a huge
That's
difference.
an insane number. But then you want to
but you got to understand why though. Like, it is, but you got guys that they say the average career is 3 years, but out of that 1,600, these guys may stick around for camp, maybe a year, right? So them guys don't give a damn about what's happening 10 years from now. They just want to make the team. They just want a contract. They don't care about any of that. So that's a problem, but you got to peel back the layers and understand why. And so I can understand that number. What I don't understand, Ashley, and this is the difference between the NFL and the NBA, is that when you see the players of the NBA walking into the NBA league office to negotiate, and I can never forget this picture, and there's been so many moments after this, but I remember like CP3, Kobe, LeBron, like all of those guys, like the faces of the NBA walking in there together. The NFL, you didn't see no Peyton Manning. You didn't see no Drew Brees, no Tom Brady, no Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, J.J. Watt. You ain't see those guys.
Nope.
But it starts with our quarterbacks. Before I even put it on anybody else, it starts with those quarterbacks. You didn't see them in there. and I keep saying this, and I hate to say this, keep bash. It's not me bashing, but it is what it is. It's like this was our situation, our reality. The last CBA, Ashley, in 2010, not the one you're talking about. We paid Drew Brees to walk in with us. Drew Brees got paid a significant check to help the players.
Wow.
That's
you know,
the
part
problem.
of me feels like the other thing that's not being mentioned often is I think the actual owners of the teams in the NBA almost kind of want to see the NBA players do better. I don't get that vibe from the NFL.
That's because
they want to hold them back down.
But the issue is that the athletes of the NFL allow them to.
No,
and
correct.
The
and
NFL owners,
that's fair.
if we're going to be honest, NFL owners and franchises prey on the fact that they know that the NFL, from a player standpoint, is never unified. The NBA can't get away with that because they know that the players will band together and boycott.
But listen to it.
But the owners know within the National Football League, the owners know that is never the case in the NFL.
And they're using it to their advantage.
They use it to their advantage constantly, and it will only change when the players start using their power to their advantage.
Okay, I love where we're at right now, and this gets us back to the Saquon Barkley and all the running backs, Josh Jacobs, et cetera, with exactly what you just said, right? The NFL owners know that players can't come together. The NFL owners also know that we're not really good at negotiating. We really don't understand best business practices. We are athletes or players. That's what we do. There's an art and a science to business. So not only us talking about sports and these athletes, but everybody in this chat, everybody who may listen to this, need to understand when you do business, when you sit down with a real successful person, they are sitting down. Everything's intentional. Everything they say, everything they do. If they take you out to dinner and they say, hey, everybody gonna have drinks. It's an interview process. Why you wanna have a drinks? We wanna see how you act when you have drinks. Everything's intentional. So I say all that to say this: as athletes, starting with athletes, it affects all of us, but athletes, like, we got to be more strategic. We got to understand this. We got to read those books, Negotiating for Dummies. You can go get that in Barnes and Noble, right? Things like that. Start somewhere. Do you know, Ashley, I heard this from a general manager, that they will watch you. We draft Ashley Nicole Moss. Boom.
Finally.
So we
Brucey time, baby.
Right. You in your prime
boom.
too.
All right, but even what we talked about yesterday, like Ashley came in, we had this big discussion. I'm like, damn, is that a Hermes? I don't even know what that was. Is that the Celine big bag with the crocodile? Whatever it was, I'm thinking this crocodile is real, and that's thousands. That's what I'm thinking, right?
Nope, just a tote.
So boom, we just drafted Ashley Nicole Moss. Ashley Nicole Moss comes in. Damn, okay, Ashley, you got a rollie now. You got the
I have a Hermes bracelet.
She got the Hermes bracelet and the Hermes. Let's say the bag is a Hermes bag that she brought. You brought the same bag in today?
Same bag.
Look at this. So
My Hermes bracelet, my fake Hermes bag.
right.
Yes.
So boom. So that's 25,000. I swear to you guys, I'm not making this up. There's people watching Ashley every single day when she comes in and taking those notes. Okay, she's investing more in shoes. She's investing more in bags. She just bought another house. So now, when it's time to get to the table, they already understand your cash flow and what your needs are. Mm-hmm. So when a player comes into that room, they already know this dude is out leveraged. This dude needs help. Or in Ashley's sense, she has a really, really expensive lifestyle. So guess what? We got her. We got her. And I'm saying that because that's how strategic they are. Woo, I am not playing, Woo. When I heard this, it blew my mind that there's organizations out there watching and taking notes on players, who they're flying in, what are they driving, what hotels are they putting their people in, just so they understand their cash needs. And then a lot of times what they'll do. Sorry, Ashley. I'll
go
just
ahead.
take 10 seconds and I'll give it to you.
Interesting.
The last thing that and what they'll do is players like this, they'll go to them early. Oh, you need it, Ashley. You need it. We ain't even signed you yet. Ashley is just a star. Ashley, she gets it. She understands it. That's why she's starting to buy the Hermes bags and all the Rollies and all of that. She knows her contract is a year away. Mm-hmm. So she knows she's going to get what Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill already got. She knows you know what? She knows she's going to go above that. She thinks she's going to go above that because she's next up. So we're going to go to Ashley now. Hey, Ashley. We would like to offer you a 5 for $95.
No.
But that's what they're going to do, right? Because we can get to her early. So instead of giving her 30, maybe we give, I don't even know what those numbers are, but we get her a couple million cheap because she needs it now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. Sorry
to bounce off of that though, knowing that happens in the NFL, and it does, because I've heard stories about it. I have friends in the league who have had similar stories. It is baffling to me that knowing that has been prevalent in the league for seasons, years, that you would allow a CBA to be passed that still does not give you guaranteed contracts. That players would be so nonchalant about something that affects maybe not them, but will affect their little homies, guys that they saw play in high school, guys coming up through the draft. It may be too late for you and where you are in your career, but to change the league better for people for you that you may not know, or even for you because you're approaching your next deal, that you would allow or just nonchalantly not even vote on a CBA that still does not give you a guaranteed deal. How that was passed the first time is just baffling to me. But the second time and the third time and the fourth time, this is why it is hard sometimes to sympathize and empathize where athletes are not getting guaranteed contracts in the NFL, because you have the power to change that. And so many times it just falls to the wayside because you guys cannot unify. There is no reason in the year 2023, almost 2024, that NFL athletes should not have guaranteed contracts. Yeah. That is unheard of in baseball. Yeah. That is unheard of in hockey. That is unheard of in basketball. Why? Because they made it that way. How many times do you have to go ahead and get shot in the foot until you realize maybe I should stop playing with this gun?
It's like NFL
maybe I should go a different route.
No, I can't let you beat up on us too much.
I'm not, but what I'm saying is all it takes is for the group to unify and say, this is what we want, and this is what we're going to.
Yeah, but
so we're not going to settle for anything less than that. That one particular thing, though, as far as guarantee,
like the difference between the NFL and the other leagues is the injury rate, right, and the risk. So that's the biggest thing there.
You can still adjust the amount of guaranteed money. It could be a scale.
What happens is, and we've been trying to figure this out for a very long time, is if they give us guaranteed money, then now we're giving up like insurance, right? Like we're taking
your insurance rate goes down or goes up.
It does, like we're giving up stuff.
You would have to pay higher insurance rates.
It's insurance. It could be different concessions. Like it's a whole game. There's just one pie. So now franchise, like even the franchise tag, we've been talking about that. If they give us the franchise tag back, then we're going to give up something else, right? So there's this game that guys that our NFLPA plays that is very, very, very difficult, and you're not going to get everything. Hopefully there's one day we can get the guaranteed thing. I do agree with you on everything else you said, but the guaranteed money thing is a very, very difficult thing to get for NFL players.
And Ashley, so you spoke of, players coming together, and what we saw yesterday actually was several big name NFL running backs really share their thoughts on, Jacob's situation, Barkley's situation, and basically the state of the running back market. Really what set it off, though, was a tweet from Matt Miller. He's an NFL analyst and like a scout also. He said, you draft a running back, you play the running back. If he's good, you then franchise the running back one time, ... and then start the process over, draft a running back. So like I said, this is really what set it
So
off.
he's anti-paying running backs, basically.
Basically,
Okay.
basically, right? And he's kind of speaking to, he's really putting into perspective what these managers and, organizations are thinking. The first running back really to share their thoughts on the situation was Derrick Henry. So he, quote, retweeted this tweet and said, at this point, just take the running back position out of the game then. The ones that want to be great and work as hard as they can to give their all to an organization just seems like it don't even matter. I'm with every running back that's fighting to get what they deserve. And then you had Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Colts.
Let me take this one.
You go ahead. Do your thing.
Man, if you're good enough, they'll find you. If you stop, Ashley, live on Sirius XM. If you're good enough, they'll find you. If you work hard enough, you'll succeed. If you succeed, you boost the organization, and then doesn't matter. You're a running back. That was good. That's the best one. That was good. Because all he did is flip Buddy's tweet. Yeah, I like that.
Basically recreated.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You're a running back.
You're a running back.
I mean, it sucks, but the way he put it out, it's really the reality of running backs nowadays, yo.
He did good. All right, you got the next one. Come on, Ash.
Yeah, Ashley.
Because you remember Ashley used to be an actress. Do we have the picture of Ashley's acting debut?
You got to sound like a California guy.
What's a California guy sound like?
Najee from Cali?
Yeah, he's from Cali.
She know what a Cali do. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you do. You know what a California guy sounds like.
You got dudes in your DMs from all different demographics.
They're not speaking like voice notes. No.
California dudes speak fast. They speak fast.
I can read this quickly. I got to read this fast?
Yeah.
All right. I agree with my running back brothers around the NFL. History will show you that you need running backs to win. We set the tone every game and run through walls for our team and lead in many ways. This notion that we deserve less is a joke.
Good job.
Yeah, like bro at the end. I don't know.
Bro?
But honestly, this isn't even something to really be laughing about. But the running backs, again, they continue to sound off. You got Austin Eckler next, and he's a guy that's really.
Woo, you're Austin.
Yeah, you want to.
He kind of look like Austin Eckler. He do look like Austin.
Wait, he actually looks like
Woo. Look at the camera. Woo.
You do look like Austin Eckler.
You might have to find some
I'm a skinny Austin Eckler.
All right, now you got the rundown.
Damn,
in front of you.
I'm looking at the All right, let me read this. I got y'all. This is the kind of trash that has artificially devalued one of the most important positions in the game. Everyone knows it's tough to win without a top running back, and yet they act like we are discardable widgets. I support any running back doing whatever it takes to get his bag.
That was very intelligent. Discardable widgets?
I know.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
I know.
Right?
Where did he go to school?
Yeah, he went deep there.
Discardable widgets.
Yo. Yeah, and then the last but not least, we had Christian McCaffrey. And as we know, he's the highest paid running back in the NFL right now. I got to do a Christian McCaffrey.
Don't mess this up. It's only
because
two
Christian
sentences.
went to Stanford.
He did.
And you went to Notre Dame, so y'all both have like this high.
I actually played.
Did you?
McCaffrey.
The debate's still up if he actually went to Notre Dame. He doesn't even know his fight song. He doesn't even know his fight song.
Chris actually played against Christian McCaffrey, and he's the reason why we didn't make the college football playoffs, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
They beat us in the last game of the season. We was undefeated.
All right, come on now. Be very proper.
This is criminal. 3 of the best players in the entire league, regardless of position.
Say that first.
That's what did it, right? This is criminal.
This is criminal.
This is criminal.
That sounds like how Christian meant it, too. This is criminal.
This is criminal.
I'm going to start using, but no, shout out to Austin Eckler, yo. I'm going to start using discardable widgets.
Discardable widgets.
I'm going to start using that.
Yeah, discardable widgets.
I'm going to throw that into every scenario I can, possibly fit in.
Right?
Yeah, that's a bar.
Yeah, but what needs to happen, man? I mean, we talked about the running backs possibly unionizing. I don't know. That was hard for me to say, but is that
uniting?
Is that possible? Yeah, is that possible? Is that something that's tangible? Can they actually form a union to actually make something happen for them?
What do you mean union?
Like a running back?
There's already a union.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a union position based.
So I know, and that's why I asked, because those are some of the things that I'm hearing. But what do they have to do? Because you consider and then Christian McCaffrey, when he said 3 players, he was also referring to Pollard, who was another player who wasn't able to secure a long-term extension. But if you consider Barkley, you consider a guy like Jacobs, in the past, guys sitting out, that's normally the only measure they can really take.
Well, that's not going to happen. So.
Yeah. So, and looking at, me and JP, our director of digital, we were talking about this before the show. Guy like Saquon, in his career, he's earned $39 million. If we considering the two running backs that we're talking about, Josh Jacobs, he earned in 4 years $12 million. If there were between the two somebody that
How
could
much have
maybe
Josh
sit out,
Jacobs made?
He's made $12 million in 4 years.
Right.
So if there was a running back that could probably afford to sit out, it would be Saquon. But like we discussed earlier, it's not really in him. He's a great guy. We probably don't see him doing that. Josh Jacobs, he probably needs to, he probably can't afford to sit this year out. But, we talking about the leading rusher, right, was on a team that didn't even make the playoffs. So he was just as Saquon was a huge part of their offense. But he doesn't have the career earnings that matches somebody like Saquon. What needs to happen? What's going to happen with this situation?
That's a great question. And I wrote down a few things, and I'm gonna add one to your last point. It inspired me. Number one, and I've been saying this for some time, Ashley. You remember this? I said they all need to get together and have a conversation, right? Well, that ship has passed. We're about to go into training camp. Free agency has come and gone. The draft has come and gone. The second, third wave of free agency, veteran free agency has come and gone, right? And it's go time now. That's it. But they need to do it together. Like, this is too late. Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, I know we are making fun of all, our guys tweeting, but y'all should have been doing this a minute ago. So this is too late for me. Some of the things that I wrote down this morning preparing for this conversation, Corey. One, if I'm a running back, I go and I say I cut my carries. Just like what they say, I'm a running back. Running back is, you remember the story I told with Brian Daboll, the head coach of the New York Giants. He was my offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, and I wanted the ball more. And remember when he brought me into his office and he had all these plays and he had a couple plays where they were run plays. And I looked at him, remember, and I said, Coach, I'm a receiver. Trash them. I don't get paid to run the ball. So if I'm a running back, I actually do the same thing. Now, can't be that dramatic, but I would say, you're not going to run me 20, 25 times a game. Oh, no, you won't. That don't get me paid. Now, I'll carry it, I'll tote it 10, 12 times, but 20? Certainly not. Absolutely not. The second thing I would do after they cut my carries, Ashley, I would go and say, and this is what I meant by creativity with the agencies and the representation, is classify me as a slash player, running back / slot. Why? Because how Alvin Kamara got paid. It's how Christian McCaffrey got paid. But when you do that, you then have to understand that you're not just a old school Adrian Peterson, boom, boom, boom type of running back. You got to get your ass out the backfield and be able to run a Texas route. You got to be able to run a box fade. You got to be able to run an option route. You got to be able to win on a slant. You got to be able to win on a go. You better work your craft. You are a pass catcher. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. You got to be able to do what they do. Okay? And the last thing that I'll do, and this may be outside of just the running backs and the individual, but I think collectively, and this goes back to what Ashley, when she brought up the CBA, because I'm like, well, I don't feel like a CBA thing, but Ashley, I do think there might be an opportunity next go around for us to look at different type of escalators or different type of contracts. Because when you brought up Saquon Barkley, Corey, bringing in $39 million, $40 million in his rookie deal, that's a big deal, okay? So that's really good money, okay? If he can get a second contract, phenomenal career. So how do we take our guys that are potentially drafted in the first round? Maybe they're drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, but they go out there and produce at a high level for their team, but they're not making as much. They're not making Saquon. It's this the illustration that Corey laid out for us. You got Saquon Barkley, $39 million. But then you got Josh Jacobs, who had probably a more productive start to his career, but he only made $12 million, and he's not getting the bag. Is there a way for us to put incentives, escalators, in a guy like that's deal so he can recoup that? Because we know a team's not going to come running to the table to give them that second contract that's going to take care of themselves and their kids forever.
And you continue to get
Because
better.
you got to think about it. These dudes are laying it on the line for us every single Sunday. Yeah. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Have you ever seen a running back after a game?
Man, they the dirtiest player. They got the worst jersey. It's ripped.
Yeah, no, I'm not even talking about that. Bro, it's sad. When I played with Matt Forte and I played with some other, Chris Ivory, the Bilal Powells of the world, bro, seeing what them boys had to do every single day after just to get to the next Sunday, like we all hurt, we all banged up, but you talking about a guy toting it 20, 25 times a day, that's a different type of wear and tear. Do they not deserve better from an insurance standpoint, from a financial standpoint? What can we do there? Yeah. So those are my suggestions, Corey.
Interesting. Anything to add there, Ashley, before we move on?
No, well said.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for giving me space to go in there.
Take it away.
Because sometimes I could be long-winded.
You were, but it was great. So.
Okay.
But yeah, no, guys. Actually, what we're gonna do now is hop into our top 5 most annoying fan bases in sports.
Hold on, we gotta
What's up?
Take a deep breath real quick.
Do we?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes left in the show. Whew. Got 300 people watching.
Yeah.
A record day in South Florida because it's been hot. Yeah. But 2 days in a row, 500 people viewing consistently, 300 people viewing consistently. We're going to remember this moment. We're not going to forget about each and every one of you when we have 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 people watching. There's no way. Ashley, you bet not change up. Don't get big-headed when we have 5,000 and 6,000 people live.
Me.
I want to see this fake tote continue on for 5 years.
Yeah, right?
I don't want to see no Hermes walk in here.
This is a good brand.
What is it?
This is Beast. Beast is a good brand.
I've never heard of it.
This is you don't know. Do you know who Shay Mitchell is?
I heard that name.
This is her brand. She makes like luggage and stuff.
All right, well, we don't want to see no Hermes when we got 5,000-6,000 people walking in here. Bet. All right, deal.
No, I'm not shaking your hand on that.
Deal. Ashley, deal.
No, I will not. Coming from the man with a Rolex.
But this is from football.
Okay, well.
This is from football. See, that's the good thing about my lifestyle. When we hit, best believe I'm going to be bougie-er. But y'all not going to know because I already got the Rollie. I already had the, the RR. Ashley, what's up with these Instagram models? Every time they get in a Rolls Royce, they got to take that picture like that.
I couldn't tell you. I make my own money.
I know, but that's why I'm asking. Like, what's happening?
You would have to ask an Instagram model. I don't know that life.
Yes, let's talk about it.
I pay my bills.
You a jerk. Oh, my goodness. Hey, fans, make sure you hold Ashley accountable. She's wearing a Betts bag.
It's Beast.
Beast bag. All right. And when we go from 3 and 500 people watching us live to 10,000 watching live, I want to make sure she still continues to rock that bag. I know you got an Hermes bag.
I don't have an Hermes bag. I wish. I don't even have a Chanel.
You don't have Chanel?
No, that's my.
Ashley, you don't got Chanel?
That's my next bag I'm gonna buy.
Ashley,
I don't have a Chanel bag, no, but it's my dream bag.
Which one?
A Chanel, black quilted Chanel. It's always been my dream bag.
Can you pull it up? Can I see it?
You're gonna buy it?
Hell no.
The one I want like $7. It was like $7,000, $7,500.
Let me see. That ain't bad.
I don't want to look it up. It's gonna make me sad that I don't have one. Truthfully, the most expensive bag I've ever bought myself to this day was a Dior.
Okay, that ain't.
But I haven't got Chanel territory yet. But it's on my list.
Guys, I know a bunch of our audience is men here. Our female or women audience is growing, which I appreciate so much. I would like to see it at 60-40, 60 men, 40 women. That's where I would like to see our numbers in the future. men, can you jump in the chat here and let me know the most expensive bag you've ever purchased for yourself or your lady?
Corey.
And then women, what's the most expensive bag that you have or is in your possession? Please jump in the chat and let us know.
What do you have, Corey?
What was the question again?
Most expensive bag you've ever purchased for yourself or for your girl?
A Prada bag.
Ooh.
It was a band.
It was
only a band?
Yeah.
Where did you get it from? Canal Street?
The actual it was like like the little side bags. Those don't cost that much. Like a little like
you got a little clutch.
Oh, like the nylon one?
Yeah, like the
you're cheap.
You know what I'm saying? Like the one with the
Ew, boo! That's not a Prada bag.
It's a Prada bag.
What you mean, Corey on the come up now? No, you got no Corey story. Corey was in the mud. Now Corey on the come up. Now. Corey, you too.
What's up?
Don't be changing up when we get 6,000 people.
No, I'm gonna remain the same. I'm fly right now.
Ooh, my dog.
I'm fly right now.
Corey. That's what I'm talking about. They said 300 Coach bag. Okay. I love Coach. Coach is trying to come back.
Not trying to. Coach is already back. They have good clothes, too.
Coach, 2 ounce
like
bag.
Their runway.
Oh, my goodness. 2 ounce
Someone
bag.
said 2 ounce.
Oh, that mid.
That fat.
What about you, Andrew?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. Even for myself, because like I guess I'm also coming out of the mud. I don't let a lot of people know that, but like if you my lady, I'll buy you anything. You know, as long as it's a good idea and we can still
like a
pay
Chanel
the bills.
bag.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Woo. Bro, you're one of the best human beings I've ever met.
Appreciate
Ever.
Appreciate that.
Ever. And we've been around each other for what? I know
Like 2
probably
years.
longer, but really like intimately 1.5 years.
Yeah, just about.
Man, like I was around Woo for a minute because he was on our team, like doing stuff on a weekly show, but he would never say anything. Just like I thought he was the weirdest guy, actually.
That's crazy.
For real, I was like, yo, this dude is weird. And then every time I would talk to him, try to join the team full time, he would look at me like I was crazy. Like Woo, what are we doing? Yes or no?
Nah, but that's just who I am, man. Like I'm a very quiet. Like I told you, I'm reading a book right now about Buddhism. Like I'm a very reserved person, but once I allow that gate to open, I try to give you everything. But if you just saw me walking across, you'll think, first of all, most people in high school used to think I was angry.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, because I would just
She
walk,
said, me too.
but like they would think I was
Face,
angry.
though, so.
Yeah.
Well, you awesome. Can we get
Appreciate
into, because
y'all.
we put together Jazz, our graphic designer. Should we save him for tomorrow?
we gotta save it. We don't have enough time.
Should we? Yeah, let's save him for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll save him. So yeah, today was like a little sneak peek or a preview or I don't know, foreshadow.
I feel like
of
I
what
have
we'll
to
do.
answer because B. Morale keeps asking about the softball game that I'm going to play in.
Yeah.
And he will not stop.
We got enough time to talk about that.
Yeah, you kinda gotta-
Yes, I'm
Softball
going to be
game.
playing in a softball game at Yankee Stadium. Amber Sabathia, CC Sabathia, they have their annual softball game. I'm going to be third base. Yes, I am a lefty. I feel like people are not familiar with lefties.
Yeah.
I am a lefty. Yeah, I'm excited. My walkout song is Takeover by Jay-Z. ROC.
You get a walkout song?
Yeah, we all have walkout
that
songs. It's like when I think of that, I just think of like New York City, just real like, I don't know, it's gritty. It's like my favorite workout song.
When
too.
is this game?
It is next week, Yankee Stadium.
Okay, I need to cover this.
Yeah, right?
Why does everyone think I can't play softball?
Well,
No,
first
well, it's
off,
the-
you've been on one leg
Yeah.
for 6 weeks. So how
That's
are
This
you?
what
is the
the
last
problem is.
stage. I'm ready to go.
Next week?
I'll be in cleats. Like I'm good.
You'll
Like
be
this
in
is
cleats.
I'm not Corey. I didn't have an
Wow.
ACL. Like this wasn't.
Okay.
I'm
no
good.
ACL, knock on
Achilles.
wood.
Sorry, knock on wood. I don't know why people think I can't play softball, but
Well, one, you probably can't play softball, and two, you really can't play softball.
I'm not gonna be
'cause you're
playing in
one that-
this. I'm playing in
Ashley,
shoes. I have shoes,
it's
cleats. You know what I
Ashley,
mean? I'm
if
healed.
you've been in
I'm good.
that makes no sense.
I'm
You're
healed.
about to hurt something else.
Correct.
Just go out there. Just go out there and take one at bat. Don't run, okay, and just sit there and.
That's crazy that you think I'm that unathletic.
Well, I saw
I
you
work
play
out
cornhole.
constantly.
Cornhole.
Cornhole, I whooped you.
You're very competitive. Doesn't make you.
But I won, so like I'm
Ah,
good.
yeah, I'll let you win.
We
But
have
hold
the
on.
footage. We
Before
can
we get
run the
competitive-
footage.
Before we get competitive here, Ashley, this is a big deal for Is this gonna be your first time taking the field at Yankees, like as far as competing?
Yes. Well, I mean,
Compete. Yeah.
I've never competed at Yankee Stadium before.
Softball tournament before? Nothing?
No, this is this is really cool just as a Yankees fan to be able to step on the grass at Yankee Stadium, like to like get the viewpoint of like the Yankees like when they're playing. It's gonna be very cool. Who's all on the list? Who's some other players? It's CC Sabathia, obviously.
Okay.
We have Tank.
Who's Tank? The singer?
Ebro. Yeah, Tank.
I love Ebro.
Ebro. Shiggy's gonna be there.
Tell Ebro I said hello, please.
Okay, hello, please.
Shiggy
We'll
funny.
note that. Obviously, Amber Sabathia will be there. Ryan Rucco, who's big in MLB space. Who else am I missing?
You'll probably have Victor Cruz because
he's not there. He's not on the. I didn't see him on the list.
Oh, wow.
Who else is gonna be on that? There was
nobody from his Yankee days.
We have Derek Jeter's sister. No, you're not gonna have the Yankees playing.
Why?
Because first of all, they're in season. They're last place.
No, I'm talking about like the old Yankees.
They'll probably be there, but I don't know if they're gonna play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you think the Yankees gonna sign Ohtani?
I don't think the Angels are gonna let Ohtani go.
No, because
They
they're
suck.
talking about he might. Be
Who sucks? The Angels or the Yankees?
Both.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we both suck pretty bad.
But
so.
the Yankees can get it over at home though.
Yeah.
I think this wraps for today, huh?
And you know what? That's really lame of Brandon to like say that I can't play softball because when he had his softball game, I was like, oh, I think he'll do pretty well. Like I sent in positive vibes, and he's just like trying to set me up for failure. I'm not injured.
You have a boot on.
It can come off.
You can't go from 6. Has it been 6 or 8 weeks?
Probably closer to the.
First of all,
6.
It's been 6.
Yeah.
You can't go 6 weeks in a boot taking Yankee field.
I've been working out, like not standing on my foot, but like doing like Pilates type exercises to keep my body in shape and things like that. And again, I didn't have an ankle injury. I didn't have like
Ashley, but
an
you're
Achilles.
not putting pressure on it. You're not
putting
cutting off of it. Do you understand that? What happened? Like, do you not know? Like, this is dangerous.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna be all right.
This is not good.
I'm gonna be okay.
I don't want to put. I'm gonna do it.
If we're gonna be honest,
I'm gonna do it.
Let's be honest.
Just go out
I'm
there.
on third base. I'm gonna be good at that. But when it comes to me at bat, it's not like I'm gonna hit a home run. I'm not gonna have to run the bases.
You hit him
You're actually gonna go out there and really try to play?
I'm gonna actually try to play. I don't go out. You play to win the game.
Bye, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Paper route. Ashley, Nicole Moss, Brandon Marshall, Woo Out West, Corey, In the Cut, Faction Talk, Sirius XM for all of our listeners. Peace.